Hey guys, it is Jack here, that vegan dad. I'm here for another mukbang video. It is pretty crazy at the moment with all this coronavirus / COVID-19. A lot of people are in isolation. Government is recommending not to go out unless absolutely necessary. So I wanted to speak about that a little bit, how it is impacting our personal family and our circumstances, and just discussing life now with this in place. I've grabbed a bunch of Mexican food as well, which I'm going to be eating whilst talking about it, so let's go. So got some Sombrero. If you aren't familiar with Sombrero, they are a Mexican fast food restaurant in Australia which offers a great variety of vegan friendly options. I'm pretty sure it's about 95% of their menu is vegan friendly or can be made vegan friendly. They have vegan cheese and also vegan sour cream as an option. Got to pay for that, unfortunately, but I've got some of these, but they look amazing there. And also grab a massive burrito with your rice and beans. Here we go. It's pretty crazy times in Australia and around the world with this COVID-19 stuff in effect and pretty much forcing people to stay in isolation within their house. A lot of businesses have been closed. A lot of people are staying indoors, which is really good because it helps prevent this pandemic blowing out to be massive like we're seeing in countries like America, the UK, Italy. It has got really out of hand in those countries. Thankfully in Australia, it's kind of well maintained at the moment, but still the government is recommending staying inside for the time being until, I don't even know what until they're waiting for, but so it's kind of a guessing game at the moment, and that's probably the scary thing. Like, no one knows what's next, so we're just kind of going off the back of the government. Very delicious. How good are burritos? I don't know how they jam-pack it so well in there. Full of rice and beans, avocado, salsa. Sombreros have some amazing options and it's so delicious. Probably one of the better Mexican restaurants out there in Australia, I feel. And really with that much flavor in there, I don't really see a point of getting the vegan cheese or the vegan mayo because these flavors are amazing anyway. As I said, with the COVID-19, a lot of businesses have unfortunately had to shut or they've changed the way they've operated. My wife owns a beauty salon and has unfortunately been forced to close her business. So for us personally, this has really impacted on our financial standing in our household. We've eliminated an entire wage out of our income, so we've had to cut back on a lot of luxury items that we normally get. Still managed to find room to get some Sombrero, thankfully, because of my wage and my job. But my personal job has changed quite dramatically as well. I work in sales and marketing and I'm generally on the road talking to my clients, yet that has been impacted, now recommended staying indoors, staying at home and not interacting with too many people outside of my immediate circle. So that has really made a huge impact on our family dynamic, our finances, and so much more. And also with our two boys, we've decided to pull them out of childcare. They're recommending at the moment that only essential service people keep their kids in childcare. We have the option to pull them out, and we both kind of feel a bit funny about leaving our kids in childcare and possibly being exposed. So it is pretty full on at home at the moment with two young boys, 4 and 2, my wife, and all the while I am trying to work as well. I know we've got to consider yourself quite thankful because I know there's a lot of other people there where both parents have lost their jobs and have dramatically impacted their income. So I can only imagine what those sort of households are going through. So obviously taking our children out of childcare has made a huge impact on how much we're spending at the grocery shops at the moment as well, because generally at childcare they get fed there, but now they're getting fed at home. So we've had to make a lot more meals for the kids to keep them satisfied throughout the day. So a couple little snacky ideas I'm coming up with, and also a nutritious lunch meal there. So that has made an impact on how much we are spending. And also another idea that we're kind of doing at the moment is trying to make up some bigger batch sort of meals. So we're making like big spaghettis, soups, risottos, just so we have items to last us a bit longer. And of course, being in isolation means we are pretty limited in terms of what we can do. Now that we can't go out, can't go to the playground because the playgrounds have all been shut, and a lot of other places, businesses have been shut, so we can't really do our normal activities of going out with the kids and going places. So we've just been doing stuff out the back. We actually bought a trampoline. The kids are absolutely loving the trampoline at the moment. But we're also trying to do some activities in the house, getting the kids involved in the kitchen with myself and my wife, you know, making some muffins, getting them involved in that, and they are loving that. They are starting to have a bit more of an appreciation of the food that we cook and getting involved in the kitchen. I'm gonna try one of these bad boys here, the little toasted quincholadas. Got the vegan cheese, tomato, some salsa in there, looking very delicious. If you keep up to date with my videos, you would have seen some of my isolation grocery hauls. Pretty crazy at the moment at Woolworths and Coles, with some of the shelves are pretty bare bones, like your essential items like your toilet paper, rice, pasta, flour, a lot of cake mixes as well. Obviously, I guess with kids being home, trying to come up with ideas, get them involved in baking some cakes. They are starting to get more well stocked, but it has been pretty crazy going to the shops lately. Still, you know, it's still quite hard to find pasta, toilet rolls, some flour, some rice as well. But thankfully, Woolworths and Coles have been doing pretty well in keeping, you know, making sure these limits are in place, ensuring that there's enough food for everyone. So don't panic about buying, you know, too much food at once. So that had a little bit of an impact on our household for a little while, because, you know, we were trying to get soy milk and that was only limited to 2, and then chickpeas were only limited to 2 cans of chickpeas, which is really weird because we couldn't get beans, we couldn't get lentils, so we could only get 1 can of chickpeas, 1 can of lentils, and that was it for the shop. So that kind of put a bit of an impact on our protein sources, so we had to do more food shops more regularly to make sure that we were getting enough of those essential items that we generally eat. But like, one thing out of this, it's not all doom and gloom. There's a couple short-term limitations that we have to put in place to make it better for the long term. So, you know, it has been a little bit of a shock to the system, and the unknown of it all has kind of been the scary part of what's going to happen in the future. How long is this going to last? People are starting to understand, if we listen and stay indoors and limit our exposure outside and interaction with other people, that the sooner that is done, the sooner this will be over. I think like what's actually probably going to come out of this, on the other end of this coronavirus stuff, is that people will probably be a bit more respectful of other people's personal space, which isn't probably a bad thing. And also personal hygiene, you know, staying home if you're sick, not touching your eyes or touching your mouth once you've gone to the shops, just being a bit smarter about your personal hygiene, washing your hands, and not being silly and going out and about when you are sick. These have been going down a treat. Almost finished that massive burrito. So I'd be really interested to hear what the impact of this COVID-19 has done on your household, how you go about your normal day-to-day life. That is really interesting, how people have been dealing with this and some of the activities to save themselves from boredom. You know, we subscribe to Disney Plus, currently going through The Mandalorian, which I'm loving at the moment. And Disney Plus has been really helpful with the kids, introducing them to great movies like Toy Story, Cars, Pocahontas, you know, all the great Disney classics. So we've subscribed to that. But yeah, I'd love to hear in the comments below how you have been dealing in this current situation, and, you know, some of the impacts that it has caused for you. And also, if you also love Sombrero as much as I do. As I said though, it is crazy times at the moment, but we are gonna get out of it as long as we are smart about it and safe about it as well. But anyway, as always, If you like this video, chuck us a like, comment below, subscribe to the channel. It is always great to chat to you guys about different topics, and I've really enjoyed it this time, munching on my Sombrero and talking about the current situation that we are dealing with COVID-19. Anyway, I am going to finish this burrito right now. It's been great chatting to you guys, and I'll catch you guys next time.